So I'm going to ask our main speaker to come up, is Mr. Stephen Moore.
Good afternoon, folks. It's a privilege to be here. We all know why we're here, right? I mean, let's not beat around the bush. We are here to make sure, both in 2019 and 2020, we turn Virginia red. Welcome the elections coming up this November, but even more importantly in 2020. I travel all over the country. I am an economic spokesman for the Trump campaign, and I can tell you there's just, it's unbelievable around the country. Last weekend I was on the West Coast. I was in Portland and Seattle. You wouldn't think of those as conservative places by any means, but we think we can win Washington State. We think we can win Oregon, and we certainly believe we can and will win the great state of Virginia. And we have to do that. And I want to make sure that every one of us, look, we all have important lives. It's so great that you all took time out of your busy lives to be here. But we have to make a commitment today that we will all work our butts off to make sure that Donald J. Trump is reelected president in 2020. And let me just talk a little bit about what's going on with the economy, because the reason Trump is going to win re-election is because we have a booming economy. And Trump has turned around this economy. I just saw the president about 2 weeks ago, and I said, Mr. President, this economic agenda that you put forward, as you know, I worked with Larry Kudlow and we helped put the economic platform together back 4 years ago. This has worked even better than I thought it would. And he kind of smiled and said, Steve, you ain't seen nothing yet. And so we have a lot of growing left to do, but I just want to recite some of these statistics because they're so important in terms of convincing people who are undecided why Donald Trump should be reelected. So first of all, let me start with the fact that just think about this. In the United States today, we have the lowest unemployment rate in 52 years. That's amazing. But you know what I know the president feels so strongly about? He loves the fact that we have the lowest unemployment rate. But you know what we love even more? The lowest unemployment rate for Black Americans, the lowest unemployment rate for Hispanic Americans, and, apropos of today's meeting, the lowest unemployment rate ever recorded for Asian Americans. Thank you, Donald. By the way, those numbers are going to continue to go down. We have the lowest interest rates in any of our lifetimes. You know, you can get a 30-year mortgage today in Northern Virginia for 3.4%. That's amazing. I mean, Warren, you and I are old enough to remember, under Jimmy Carter. By the way, the reason I know God smiles on America is that Jimmy Carter was not reelected president in 1980. But when Jimmy Carter was president, the mortgage interest rate was 20%. 20%. Now you can get a mortgage for less than 3.5%. That's an incredible thing. The inflation rate. The inflation rate is lower than it's been at any time in 50 years. And then, my favorite number. This is just a cool number that you should. Anytime you're debating any of your liberal friends, use this number. And I'm gonna throw this number out, and I wonder if somebody in this room can tell me what this number is. 7.1 million. Anybody know what that number is?
Welfare roll.
I think I heard somebody over here say 7.1 million is the number of unfilled jobs in the United States. Think about it. 7.1 million? That has never happened before in the history of this country. And by the way, we have a 6 million unemployed. So the official unemployment numbers that just came out 3 weeks ago tell us there's 6 million unemployed people. Now, I'm not really good at math, but I think I can do this math in my head. If we have 7.1 million jobs to fill and 6 million people looking for jobs, even if we put every single unemployed American who's looking for a job into a job, we still have 1 million jobs left over. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? And so it didn't happen by accident. This is the point I think we have to stress. A lot of my liberal friends just say, oh, how many times have you heard them say, this is just an extension of the Obama economy? Remember? How many of you heard them say, oh yeah, this is just the Obama economy? Yeah. I was asked that question on CNN a few months ago because we've got another job. By the way, these are the same people, remember 4 years ago, said, if Donald Trump is elected president, we're going to have a Great Depression. Remember? Now we have the booming and best economy in 40 years. They say, oh, it's just because of Obama. So this lady, the broadcaster on CNN asked me, Steve, don't you just think this is the Obama effect? I said, absolutely, it's the Obama effect. It's the fact that Barack Obama is no longer president. That's why we have these So I'll give you a sneak preview on a piece that I have in the paper in the Wall Street. How many of you read the Wall Street Journal editorial page? I hope every hand goes up. But if you haven't, please get the Wall Street Journal tomorrow. I've got the lead op-ed piece in the Wall Street Journal this morning, and it is about incomes. And I was telling Morgan about this the other day, and I think you're going to think that these are amazing numbers. And there's going to be a chart in there. We want to get that chart all over the place. If you have a website or whatever, spread the word. So here's what it shows. I got the latest income data from the Census Bureau that came out in July of based on the survey they did in July of 2019. So it's the most up-to-date data on what's happened with income since Donald Trump was elected president. By the way, this data goes back about 30, 35 years, so we can look at the trends over time. And what the data shows is that from January 2017, when Donald Trump entered office, through July 2019, so that's about a 2.5-year period, median family incomes. I'm not talking about the rich. I'm not talking about Bill Gates. I'm not talking about Warren Buffett. I'm not talking about LeBron James. I'm talking about average family incomes in the United States, adjusted for inflation. Adjusted for inflation. You ready for this? Have gone up in 2.5 years by $4,100. Wow, that is astounding. And by the way, I got a sneak preview for the people who do the numbers each month. They're now processing the August numbers. They've seen a big jump in the August numbers too. They think that it's going to be another $700 increase in incomes in just August alone. So we're talking about the average middle-class family seeing almost a $5,000 increase in their incomes. By the way, just to give you a sense how good that number is, under Bush, we had 8 years of Bush, incomes were pretty flat because we had the big recession. And under Obama, even since the recession ended, which was in June of 2009, so he had 7 years as president when the recession was over, he only increased average incomes by $1,000. So in 1/3 of the time, think about this, in 1/3 of the time, Donald Trump has raised middle income wages and salaries 4 times as much. And what are all the Democratic candidates saying, by the way? They're saying, oh, it's only the rich are benefiting, right? Only the rich and corporations are benefiting from Donald Trump's policies. Nonsense. This puts the lie to those statistics. And we know that it's a lie because middle-class people are spending money. Look, the consumer is king today. Ask any retailer. Look at Lowe's, look at Home Depot, look at Walmart, look at Walgreens. All of these, look at the airlines. They're all saying that, their business is booming right now. People are spending money. Why are they spending? Now we understand why they're spending money, right? They're spending money because they have more money in their pocketbooks. Thank you, Donald Trump. That's an amazing accomplishment. A couple of things that I would just add is obviously the deregulation effort, getting businesses off the back of business is an enormous one. And I want to mention another one that I think has been really critical that Trump has been so good on, has been on the energy picture. You all know this because Trump says this every speech he gives, but he's absolutely telling the truth, that for the first time in any of our lifetimes, unless there's really, really old people in this room, the United States of America is now producing more energy than we are consuming. We are a net exporter. I didn't ever think this would happen in my lifetime. I was just in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Ohio and Pennsylvania, by the way, how many of you have heard of something called the Marcellus Shale? That's the massive new natural gas formation, and we figured out how to crack the code and get this massive amounts of natural gas. More natural gas in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin than anywhere else in the world. And we figured out how to get at it through horizontal drilling and something called hydraulic fracturing or fracking. And did you notice that what's happening in Ohio and Pennsylvania, their economies are booming because of this. Thousands and thousands and thousands of new jobs. They've increased their output and so on. Did you notice what the Democrats were saying? Did any watching their debates, the clowns that are on that stage? Every one of them said that they want to abolish fracking. That would literally eliminate millions of jobs. And by the way, I have to say this, that I hope that when you have the dinner tonight, there's not going to be any beef, is there? I mean, no beef, right? No, we're no more cows, right? No more cows, no more beef. And I saw somebody around here who had one of those drinks with a straw in it. And I thought it was a plastic straw. You are not allowed to have a plastic straw, right? And by the way, there's going to be no more cars. There's going to be no more airplanes. These are Stalinists. They want to take away all of these things that we have that have been so enormously beneficial for the economy. It's going to be tough, though. This is going to be a very tough election. The left is pumped up. They're fired up. They are willing to lie and cheat and steal. And one of the things that Morton, who was one of the great Republicans of all time in this great state of Virginia, was telling me the other day, I mean, we cannot allow the Democrats to take over the legislature, right? We're not going to let the Democrats take over the legislature in Richmond, right? Right? We're not going to let that happen, okay? Because, you're going to hear from him later today, but as he says so well, if we allow that to happen, they will reverse literally 30 or 40 years of conservative policy, and it's a very dangerous thing. So I'm pumped up. I think we're going to win. And let me just say one last thing, and then I'm so appreciative of you doing this, because Asian Americans, well, by the way, why aren't we winning like 70 and 80% of the Asian vote? I don't understand it. You have to talk to, most of the folks in here are Asian. We have to get every Asian. I mean, how can Asians not vote for conservative, pro-growth economic policies? Asians have been the biggest beneficiaries of Donald Trump's policies. So will you each talk to your friends and neighbors and tell them the truth about this strong, Trump economy and how it's benefited the people in your neighborhood and your cities and your towns? But the other thing I want to say is that I really believe, I'm not a rah-rah Republican, by the way. I mean, sometimes I don't like the Republicans too much either, but I'm very disturbed. Aren't you disturbed about what's happened to the modern-day Democratic Party? I mean, it is a disgrace. I mean, Morton, you've been in this game a long time. Have you ever seen anything like it? I mean, this left-wing takeover of the Democratic Party is frightening. It's frightening to me. It's frightening. I do a lot of talks on college campuses and stuff, and all the Democrats want to talk about is, socialism, the government take over this and that, and the people always come up to me afterwards. A lot of people from, immigrants who come from other countries. How many in this room were born in another country? Raise your hand. A lot of you were. And tell me if I'm wrong, but people say, I came here because I wanted liberty and freedom and free enterprise, and now we've got these politicians and the voters who want to take it away from us. And we have to guard it. We have to jealously guard it. Millions and millions of Americans have died for our freedoms. Let's not give those freedoms away the way the Democrats want to see happen. And so my point is, I think it's not just important that Trump win this election. And he is going to win, by the way. Donald Trump is going to win re-election. But I want to see Donald Trump win a 40-state re-election landslide. And I want the Bernie Sanders and the Kamala Harris and all of these other Democratic candidates to be renounced by voters so that we have a prosperous economy for many, many years to go. I'm going to fight like crazy in the next 12 months, 14 months now, and I hope you all do too. Thank you so much for putting on this great event.